Welcome to this R290 install in Crawley. We're going to take you through some of the highlights of this installation. So we're installing an MSZ RZ35, and this is an R290 system. So it's got a wall mounting bracket going into place. We're doing here is just pre-wiring that indoor unit. So putting in S1, S2, S3 and R. So S1 being your live, S2 being your neutral, but S2 is also your negative neutral on the comms, and S3 is your comms. So this is one of the areas we thought about for the first placement of the outdoor unit. A couple of drawbacks. First off, it's right beside where the parking bays are, possibility of getting damaged by vehicles. Second off, quite close to the bins, not great, and potentially you're going to be starting to restrict access in and out of the building. This is the other place to look at placement-wise. We did look at putting it down at ground level. Access, trying to get into this actual gas mains cupboard, and again just potential being still actually down at ground level, therefore damage from vehicles. Overall choice, up on wall mounting brackets. We've got plenty of space around the unit, so we've got around that 1 meter exclusion zone. That's not an issue, so that's all the way we went with that, to try and keep it nice and neat and tidy and out of the way. Bit more hard work, obviously, doing wall mounting brackets rather than putting down at ground level, but it gave us a correct kind of outcome. Connecting up the outdoor unit. So here we're going to use flare connections. Pressure test up pipe work. Obviously we do a strength test, and then we'll drop down the pressure and we'll do a tightness test. Minimum 1 hour, but obviously longer pipe work, longer times. Once we've done the pressure test, we're then going to put a vacuum on the system. We're going down towards around about 2 torr. And obviously
leaving that for a little while to see if we get a pressure rise. If we're happy with that, next thing we'll do is start moving that pipework. But as we're doing that, we've got a leak detector here, just making sure we haven't got any leaks coming through, specifically around those flare connections. Just belt and brace. The indoor unit's got a leak detector on it. For that unit to work, we need the outdoor unit still to be running. Therefore, we've got a label put on the isolator unit. Make sure it's only be switched off as a service requirement.
System's ready to run, so we're going to test it. So we'll test it in cooling, and then we're going to test it in heating, just to make sure they're working correctly. Once we've done that, next thing we're going to do is hand it over to the customer. So just what I mean by that is explain the basics of how this controller works, talk them through things like how to connect onto the mail cloud so they can do it all via their mobile phone, and obviously leave them with the correct paperwork. The R290 install is all done and dusted. We went through potential locations for the actual unit. We've been through some of the safety aspects of working with R290, but the whole install has gone according to plan. Great job.